Alright, June 27, 2026, 5, 5:30 p.m. So, in Indonesia. So, the letter in the wall. In a quiet town surrounded by hills, there was an old house that nobody wanted to buy it. That nobody wanted to buy it. It had been empty for almost 20 years. The windows were covered in dust. The garden had grown wild, and the wooden floor creaked with every step. People in town called it the Forgotten House. When Sarah moved to the town for a new job, she didn't live in her superstition. She needed an affordable place to live, and the old house was cheap. Her friends warned her that it might be haunted, but Sarah only laughed. Houses don't have ghosts, she said. They just have history. On her first night, Sarah decided to fix a small crack in the living room wall as she removed a loose piece of wood. Something fell to the floor, a yellow envelope sealed with old wax. Her curiosity sparked immediately. She opened it carefully. Inside was a letter, written in elegant handwriting, dated almost 50 years earlier. To whoever finds this, if you are reading this letter, it means this house has chosen you. I lived here many years ago, and I love this place more than anyone, more than anywhere else in the world. But I left something behind. Something I never had the courage to give the person I love. Look beneath the old oak tree in the garden. There you will find the truth. I was too afraid to speak. Eleanor. Sarah's hands trembled slightly. The letter felt mysterious, almost magical. She looked out the window toward the garden, where a massive ancient oak tree stood, its branches stretching like old, tired arms. The next morning, Sarah grabbed a shovel from the shed and walked to the tree. The soil beneath it was soft, as if no one had touched it in decades, except, strangely, near the roots, where the ground seemed slightly disturbed. She began to dig. After several minutes, her shovel hit something solid. She knelt down and brushed away the dirt with her hands, revealing a small wooden box wrapped in cloth that had mostly decayed over time. Inside the box was another letter and a faded photograph of a young woman and a young man standing beneath the same oak tree, smiling at the camera. Sarah opened the second letter. My dearest Thomas, by the time you read this, I will already be gone from this town. My family is forcing me to move far away, and there is no way to stop them. I wanted to tell you the truth, the truth before I left, but I was a coward. I love you. Thomas, I loved you since the very first day you helped me carry water from the well. Wherever you are, and if it is too late for us, I hope it reminds the world that love, even unspoken, is never wasted. Forever yours, Eleanor. Sarah felt a heavy headness. Sarah sat under the tree for a long time, holding the letter against her chest. The story felt so personal, so full of longing that she felt the need to find out what happened to Eleanor and Thomas. She visited she visited the town's local library the next day and searched through old newspaper and town records. After hours of searching, she found a small from many decades ago. Local teacher Thomas Bennett passed away at age 78. The article mentioned that Thomas had lived alone for most of his life and had never married. Sarah felt a heavy sadness in her chest. Thomas had died without ever knowing the truth. But then, near the bottom of the article, she noticed something else. A mention of his niece, Margaret Bennett, who still lived in a nearby town. The next weekend, Sarah drove to Margaret's house. An elderly woman opened the door, her silver hair tied neatly behind her head. Can I help you? Margaret asked, looking a little confused. Sarah explained everything the letter, the box, the photograph, and the love story buried beneath the oak tree. Margaret's eyes filled with the tears as she listened. My uncle, Thomas, she said softly. He used to sit under a tree like that every evening when I was a little girl. He never told me why. He just said he was waiting for someone. Sarah handed her photograph and the letter. Margaret held them gently, her fingers trembling. He never married. Margaret whispered. He told me once that he loved someone a long time ago, but she disappeared without saying goodbye. He never stopped wondering what happened to her. He never married, Margaret whispered. She didn't leave because she wanted to, Sarah said gently. She left this letter for him. She just never had the chance to give it to him. Margaret wiped her tears and smiled. Through her smile was filled with sadness. Thank you for bringing this to me. It means more than you know. Even after all these years, it's good to finally understand the truth. As Sarah drove home that evening, she thought about Eleanor and Thomas, two people separated by distance, time, and fear, who never got the chance to say what truly mattered. She thought about how many feelings remain hidden simply because people are afraid to speak them, and how those unspoken words can wait silently for years, sometimes forever. When she arrived back at the hot house, she walked into the great garden and looked at the oak tree one more time. The evening wind moved gently through its leaf, almost like a quiet sigh. I hope you finally feel at peace, Sarah whispered. From that day on, the people in town stopped calling it the Forgotten House. Instead, they started calling it Eleanor's house, a place that once filled with sorrow was now remembered with warmth, love, and story worth telling. And Sarah, who once believed houses only carried history and nothing more, learned that sometimes history carries hearts too, waiting patiently to be heard. Thank you.